Hello again, everybody. Welcome once more to Powerline Weekly Video Ministry. This is Richard Ike, and we're on episode number 165. And I was considering the title of today's message for us to continue with the female champions of the Bible, because I'm now dealing with women who were not necessarily champions of the Bible, but they were just women of the Bible. So I was considering if to continue using the title Female Champions of the Bible, or just say Women of the Bible, or to interchange them. However, for the sake of continuity, this is the title of this message is Female Champions of the Bible, Part 32. So we're on episode 165, Part 32, the first message of this new year. And the women in question, it's not going to be one woman, it's going to be a few women. The wives of Esau. Maybe I should just title this message, The Wives of Esau. And not much is said about them. However, you can tell a person's character by the one who they marry. You can tell a man's character by the woman he marries, and you can tell a woman's character by the man she marries. So, no, there's much to be said about Esau's character because of the women he was married to. The Bible makes it clear that they were a constant grief, serious grief unto Isaac and Rebekah. So we know based on this that Esau was a person who was grievous because he married grievous women. And there's a reason why I landed at this. Beside the fact that I'm following alphabetical order of the women in the Bible, the name of one of his wives was Bashemat. Some might pronounce it Basemat. It sounds like it's spelled like we pronounce Bashemat. That's one of his wives. In the B section, I'm in the B section now of the names. And the other one was Judith. That's his first two wives. They were Canaanite women. And they were not supposed to marry into to mingle with the people of the land. But however, one of the reasons why I had to lay emphasis on it because the description of the story having to do with Esau's wives is going to pertain to Esau. It's indirectly a story of Esau, his wives. I heard a preacher, Stevie Jakes, he gave a message on basically how the Lord was supposed to be called the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, because the blessing was supposed to go to Esau the first. But instead they went to Jacob because Jacob usurped Esau's blessing and took Esau's blessing. But they kind of made it make Jacob look like he's a villain, he's a bad guy. But the reason they do that is because they haven't really studied Esau's character well. If you study Esau's character well, you know that Esau was not a pleasant person. No. He only had one thing good going for him. He knew how to cook. That was it. But beside that, he was an awful character. It showed in his wives. He was a source of heartache for his parents. So that's why God skipped him. I mentioned in last week's message, the Bible is the only place where the second is honored above the first. And Jacob demonstrated that when he blessed the children of Joseph. He switched his hand, he blessed the younger over the older. And Joseph tried to stop him. That's how Rude wants to do. No, you're doing wrong. Well, Jacob's like, no, I know what I'm doing. It's a principle that God has. Even though God institutes the principle of honoring the first, he told Moses that the first child that opened the matrix of the womb belongs to him. So he honors the first. However, he also switches hands. He qualifies and he disqualifies. Now, the reason he disqualifies has to do with character. So God has a habit of switching hands. They're supposed to go the first switch hand. With David and Saul, Saul came first, David came second. Now switch hands. With Lord Jesus, first Adam and last Adam, or second Adam, Lord Jesus, switch out honor the second over the first. Even in the Lord Jesus' life, with John the Baptist and the Lord Jesus, John the Baptist came first. Don't switch hand. It was Lord Jesus on about John the Baptist. And that switching hand strategy of honoring the first and the second above the first. The Old Testament came for New Testament came to switch hand is the Old New Testament will honor about the Old Testament. The whole switching hand business. But we're going to explore, we're going to go in depth into Esau's character. And then we realize that he's not the kind of the good guy, the victim that he's being made out to be by the preacher, trying to make Jacob look like he's the bad guy, oh, he's the usurper or something. Go and analyze Esau's character. This guy's not pleasant. However, before that, I have two addendums. One, it's a new year, new attitude, new decade, got new glasses, but I have to go change the lenses because I tried this progressive lenses where the bottom part is for reading, but it blends into the lens. However, they haven't refined the technology yet. It hasn't matured yet. It's still it's not no, it's not it hasn't been perfected yet. This is, I think, the second generation. The first generation was not very good. The second generation, they still have some work to do. So the first generation of any technology, the first customers to receive it, and they're called the beta testers. Even though the Greek alphabet beta is B, you want that was alpha. The alpha is the one that the manufacturer has. That's the alpha. The beta is the second one. That's the one that goes to the consumers. So the first generation of consumers to get the technology are the beta testers. Now they find out what the kings are. So this is about the second generation. So this will be the gamma generation. Not cool and that I haven't refined it yet. I'm a technology person. There's some things I'm willing to accept as a beta test, but some things don't work. I wait for the delta or epsilon generation. That's what comes after the Greek alphabet. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. So I wait for the upcoming generations. I have to take this back. It's plain because it has so many variations in focus. The optician said, "Oh, my eyes will get used to." No, it's not working. I get plain one way for next 2 generations, and I might be ready for it. Then, now, I'd like to congratulate President Trump on a successful strike that took place in Iran. And the word now about, retaliation. Let me give a sound warning. President Trump, not only is he not anything like that playboy Obama, he comes after the order of the US presidents of like World War II, which means if you mess with America on his watch, he won't bat an eye to drop a nuclear bomb on whatever nation it is. Let's mess with America. He will not bat an eye. He's one of those presidents. All the Democrats will do is, he didn't tell us. Why would you tell your enemy you're about to strike another enemy? Does that make sense? I said, Iran, you're talking about, just humble yourself now and retreat. Because President Trump, he is that president. You mess with America, he will drop a nuclear bomb. And he doesn't care what criticism comes. That's all they're going to do is criticize. While they criticize anybody else, open their mouth, he'll drop another nuclear bomb. That's the president we're dealing with. Don't mess with him. Don't let all this nonsense that the liberal and Democrats are doing fool you. This guy is a warrior. He's showing it now. This is a sign. Don't mess with him. Do not mess with the United States while he's on watch. They will drop a nuclear bomb. Just as America dropped. America is the only nation that's used a nuclear bomb in battle, or atomic weapon. And it dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. America is the only nation that's done that. Don't make America be the nation that done it twice. Because President Trump will do it. Do not mess with the United States while he's on the watch. He's on the throne. He will do it and won't bat an eye. Just look for, who's next? Who else wants to open their mouth? While the blast wave is still traveling, who's next? Who wants to open their mouth? America has had that power since World War II. One thing America knows well is warfare. So it's not a nation you want to be playing around with. Its experience is skilled and it is seasoned in warfare. That's one thing America knows about warfare. So it's not something you want to go and play around. Oh no, there's no. America does not prove anything to anybody. Just open your history books and you see it. That's why I was wondering. It's been making us. They must not have read the history books. It's good to know history. Do research before athletes go to meet an opponent. They do research on that opponent so they'll know exactly how to fight them. Do some research on U.S. history in the battlefield before you open your mouth to the United States. You try your brag. America doesn't have to leave home. I said it. They don't have to leave home to strike. When it's serious soldier, just to show off so people can see stuff. Because they're making us, I said, so they haven't read the history books. Okay. All right. Okay. Now let me get into this message. So that's the warning for Iran. Just humbly walk away. This is not Obama. Obama just a playboy sitting in the White House. That's it. Donald Trump. Now this is a real proper U.S. president. You look at the history, go back in history. This is the kind of president America had in the past. It's now back again. Okay. That one was playing when they said make America great again. Oh, go and open the history books. Before you want to mess with America, when a man like Trump is sitting on the throne, better go review history. Learn the history. America is seasoned in it knows warfare well. Okay. Now, this is where the wives of Esau are introduced. In Genesis chapter 26, at the ending of Genesis chapter 26, and Genesis chapter 26 verse 34, and Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Bashemat, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of mind unto Isaac and Rebekah. They were a grief of mind unto Isaac and Rebekah. Then after that, it jumps down to the story of how Jacob stole Esau's blessing from Isaac. Isaac was now old and he couldn't see very well, and he wanted to eat the meal from Esau, because Esau was a chef, he was a good cook. That's all he had That's all he had going for him. That was good. He was a good cook. And before we start underestimating that whole his ability to cook, understand this. As an old saying that the road to a man's heart is through his stomach. It's not something that housewives will say. But that wisdom goes back to Abraham. Because when the Lord appeared to Abraham, came with the two angels before he went to go carry the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. When Abraham welcomed him, he offered him food and said so that they eat and their hearts will be merry. I said, it's what we do before they go into a business deal. They will first go and have lunch, eat a nice meal, so that the heart of the person they're about to negotiate with will be sweet. And now they can have proper business negotiation. That's a business strategy that is used till this day, what Abraham did. So when the Lord ate, then they had the food, the meal, and their heart was made. Now the Lord being moved to negotiate with Abraham. Now Abraham's like, okay, all right. If there are 50 righteous in Sodom, would you destroy it? No, I won't destroy the city. Okay, there are 45. There are 40, going down, all the way down to 10, because he was not able to negotiate. They had eaten and it was out of sweet. So had they been not giving him any meal, want to negotiate with it, I might have been in a bad mood. I'd be like, there are 50 here. No, I forget it. I've already written off the city. But because he was not in a good mood, he was not in a position of not negotiating. He's feeling good, eating the meal. Right, this bill is not. Okay, all right, now let's get down to business. Why did the Lord have to go? What did the Lord said that he told Abraham, shall I hide this thing from you? Why? Because I got to Amos chapter 3. important scripture. The minor prophets. This is why God had to tell Abraham what he was about to do. The principle found in Amos. Okay, what is it? Amos 3 verse 7. Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. The Lord will do nothing unless he reveals his secret to his servant, the prophets. And he called Abraham a prophet when he was rebuking, in the rebuke of Abimelech, who took Sarah. Because Abraham claimed that Sarah was his sister to save his life. And then he took Sarah, and then everybody fell sick. And the Lord, instead of Abimelech, give that man back his wife, for he's a prophet. He will pray for you, and you will live. So because he called Abraham a prophet, this principle we find out here in Amos chapter 3 verse 7. That's the reason he said he will not hide it from Abraham. He said, I hide from Abraham what I'm about to do. So because Abraham was a prophet, God called him a prophet, that's why I had to reveal to him what he was going to do the Sodom and Gomorrah. So that after God had eaten, Abraham cooked meal for them, they ate, and now they moved for negotiation. That's a business strategy. You wonder why the Jews are so very good in business. Because the Lord God is the God of the businessman. I had a preacher, what's his name? A Nigerian preacher, Suleiman Johnson, however his name goes. He mentioned that the Lord God is the God of the businessman. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they're all businessmen. We think of him as the God of preachers. That's we put him in a box. I heard Jonathan Khan say, you don't put God in the box, you put him in the box, he'll climb out. We put him in that box as the God of the preachers. While we're not looking, you just open the box, quietly climb out. He's the God of the businessman. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they were businessmen, they were not preachers. The Lord Jesus, his 12 disciples, they were all businessmen. Not one was a preacher out of 12. Not one was a preacher, they were all businessmen. He's the God of the businessman. That's why the Jews are very good in business, because they worship the God of the businessman. Look at Abraham, the strategy he used, they still use today. Before going to a business negotiation, business deal, the first eats and the heart is merry, then now you can negotiate, start talking business. So this is what Esau had going for him. Though he had wives that grieved his parents, he knew how to handle the man. The man started flipping. Esau, give me this, your wife, they can give me trouble. Give me all sides. Esau used to know what? I'm going to take care of him, go and warm up some music. Yeah, take ye and eat. And Isaac like, oh, that smells good. Man, this is sweet. Okay, you feeling good now? Okay, gotta relax. Okay, all right, I'll see you later. That's it. So whenever Isaac wants to trip, he just gonna whip up his meal, his venison, and go and sprinkle some curry, sprinkle some thyme, just whip it up here, take it and eat. The man will eat and then calm down. So that's all Esau had going for him. That's all he had. That's all he had to his record. He was a chef. He knew how to cook. So he was using his food to literally manipulate the emotion of his father. That's it. The man tried to just go and whip up something, just go into chef mode, put on his apron, eggs, mix everything up. While Isaac is throwing it to the feet, he will smell the food coming from the kitchen. Say, Esau was cooking so good. That's my boy. He just start to wait. You forget about the trouble. Start to wait. The man start to water. Okay. Are you done? Okay, come here. Okay, I prepared. Wash his hand, everything okay, all right. This one is good. It smells good. This one, my boy. Give me 5. I said, you forget about the problem. That's all Esau had going for him. He was a chef. He was a good cook. That's it. So the father is about to die. But instead, let me go and cook this meal. For him to be waiting to eat a meal, it's like when they're going to execute criminals. What do? They offer them their last meal. What do you want as your last meal? That's the thing. That's where the tradition came from. Isaac, the last meal business. Is Dad, my son go and cook me let me eat my last, my last buffet before I check out. I think that's where the tradition came from. Isaac business, waiting so that his son will cook a meal before he dies. America is a Judeo-Christian nation. The foundation principle of this nation all come from the Bible. The law enforcement, they use principles that came from the Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah, no. What they do when they're reading Miranda rights, anything you say can be used against you. That came from the Lord Jesus. He said, well, by your words are you acquitted, and by your words are you condemned. Yeah. All right. The ending of. I'll go back to it. Genesis. Genesis 26. Okay. The ending of Genesis 26 gives us gives us the backstory of why God Himself rejected Esau. Because the Bible says, what's in the Bible? Esau hated Jacob I loved. Why? As Esau was causing grief for his parents. It was causing grief for God. Remember the 10 Commandments. Commandment number 5. Honor thy father and thy mother. As the only commandment with the promise. So that thy days might be long upon the earth. Honor thy father and thy mother. God, first 4 dealing with God. The last 6 dealing with man. But number 5 that connects God to man was the parents. So honor thy father and thy mother so that thy days might be long on the earth. So that's the thing. Even though it had not been written down yet, it was in the heart of the founding fathers. God put His laws in it. He said, Papa said, I put the laws in our hearts. So the honor of the father and mother was something that was crucial. Wow, God said Esau hated Jacob a lot. What did Esau do? Esau was giving headache to his parents. That has never been addressed. The preachers always make Jacob look like he was a usurper. He usurped. But who did he usurp? He usurped Esau, the man who was headache for the household headache. The wives that he married are the equivalent of nightclub girls. Hard party, hard drinkers, sex, drug, rock and roll. I said the Canaanite women, the Hittites. So bringing those things to a household of, like a godly household. Party, nightclub girls in a godly household. You live in a godly household, and you might do not want two partying girls should probably dress, risky, showing off their body. Canaanites, nightclubs know how to do dress risky, and then in a household where religiously pious, they honor gods, pray and fast and all this stuff, and then here come this Esau and his nightclub girls. And the girls don't even go to church or anything. Let me proceed. So that speaks of Esau's nature. He was a wild person. Esau, he liked to go hunt. So that's part of his catch. He hunted and he caught Canaanite women. So the hunter he was wild. His wildness was driving his parents crazy. He said, which were a grief of mind unto Isaac and Rebekah. Oh, it gets deeper. So this was the prelude. This before now gets to chapter 27. I start talking about how Esau lost his blessing to Jacob. Jacob was a good guy, well-behaved boy. He obeyed his parents. So now, father wants to bless this boy. Has given mother and father headache with his wives. Mother said, no, Jacob's the one that deserved it on account of his wives. So that's the reason why family. I said, so it wasn't just for anything that Esau lost his blessing to Jacob. It was because of those women, those wives of his. They displeased him. The only thing he used to grip his father was his food. He was a chef. He used his food to grip his father's heart. I said, that's all Esau had going for. I said, besides the fact that he was a good chef, what else is there to Esau? I'm like, this guy was a troublesome character. Preachers made Jacob look like the villain. But this guy, Esau, was a problem. The problem child. It's just that he was the first. He had the title first. That's it. But character disqualified him. God switched hands. So let me enter the part. Since this was the prelude, the part that they've always missed. They never addressed it. Because chapter 7 starts with talking about Isaac and how he was getting ready to die and all that stuff and wanted to bless him. So it made him Esau look like he was the victim. No, he was the casualty of his own actions. The ending of chapter 6 showed what disqualified him. Because we talked about Isaac, then suddenly he just jumped to close that. We're talking about Esau. Then he went to chapter 27. If that chapter 27 was not there, not written there, the connection would have been made. So I just removed chapter 27. I said, finally, I understood why this thing happened to Jacob. To Esau. Because it's giving Jacob a bad reputation. He stole his brother's blessing. But when I read above, where it says chapter 27, I said, so that's what it is. That's what it is. Because later on, his mother laid emphasis on it again. How he grieved at the point where she wants to die. Those women. I said, so that's what it is. That's why he lost that blessing. Now, let me read it. Let me read the part. Chapter 27. This is right after chapter 26 ends. And Esau was 40 years old when he took wife Judith and Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Bashemat, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of mind unto Isaac and Rebekah. Chapter 27 begins. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his oldest son and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here I am. And he said, Behold, now I am old, and know not the day of my death. And therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapon, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, and that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord. Blessed before the Lord before my death. And therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. He was an obedient son, not Esau. Go down to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of goat, and I will make thee savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. Even though Esau was a good cook, he could not outcook his mother, who taught him how to cook. He said, so I want to use food and collect that blessing. Okay. Then Jacob, go and get me the ingredients. Let me cook the meal. I was the one that taught him how to cook. I can outcook him. Whatever it is that he feeds his father, I can feed the same. I can give him the same meal. Go and get them. Let me prepare the meal that his father wants. And therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 kids of goat, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. Such as he loveth. The wife knows the husband. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will fail me, and I shall seem to him a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son, only obey my voice, and go fetch me then. Is actually, all the blame should actually be on Rebekah, because it wasn't Jacob that conceived this thing. Jacob was even concerned about the whole matter. The blame should be on Rebekah. They blame Jacob. Oh, he took Esau's birthright. The fact that he even made Esau that offer, when Esau came and he was hungry, he said, hey, give me ask him for some food. He said, no, I'm your birthright and I give you food. And Esau said, what is it to me now? I'm at the edge of death. So his birthright and for a bowl of soup. The fact that Jacob would even make such a request means that he knew Esau's character. He knew that Esau was such a vain character that he would give up his birthright over a bowl of soup, which means he didn't deserve it in the first place. He knew Esau, that was a twin brother. So you know what? I said, why would he even make such a request, not fearing consequences? So are you crazy? Give him my birthright over a bowl of soup. Have you lost your mind? And Jacob might say, it was just a joke. I was just testing you. It was a joke. It's so like that. What is that to me? Take the birthright, just give me a bowl of soup so I can eat and live. Jacob knew that his brother Esau was a vain character, and that's why he made such a request. So yeah, sell me your birthright and give you a bowl of soup. Now, that must have angered God. Say, okay, since you can easily give up your birthright, you don't deserve the blessing of the firstborn. Esau now went, mother now took charge, took it to the next level. Jacob was just a bowl of soup, now the mother prepared meal, and now look at the plan she has. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice, and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them on Jacob her younger son. And she put the skins of the kid of the goat upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck. She knew that's where Jacob liked to feel, the hand and the neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came into his father and said, my father. And he said, here I am. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. And I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said, it's the same thing, the same strategy that Abraham used when God showed up with two angels. He said, I'll prepare you meal you eat in your heart to be merry. So Isaac learned it. Before we do top business, we eat first. And the tradition has continued since then. Go for business negotiation. First have lunch, eat, the heart is merry, now they're negotiation mood. It started with Abraham, passed on to Isaac, passed all the way down. Now you know why the Jews are so good in business. They worship the God of the businessman. With the Gentile turning the God of the preachers. Now, when I read the fivefold ministry, suddenly occurred to me. I come pastor is all the way number 4. I've apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, and teacher. How did pastor get to number 1? The traditions of the Roman Catholic Church that still remains in the Gentile church. As a matter of fact, I've touched that thing. What is this whole business where the Catholic Church now saying, oh, the protest is over. I heard the Pope, saw a video of the Pope saying it, and even these big name preachers who I don't trust, they're now falling into it. You know, the ecumenical movement. One went to Kenneth Copeland's church. He was saying, oh, the protest is over. It was Catholic priest. The protest is over. If the protest is over, then there's no more Protestant church. Oh, and the Pope spoke and all that stuff. And so, oh, uniting the body. And these same folks, this same Pope is the one who now wants to unite other religions, bring all religions together. One world order, one world religion. Things that I read about decades ago, 20, 30 years ago, didn't think they could pull it off. Now seeing it happening, I'm like, is this really happening? It is really happening. This thing that they planned a long time ago, they're trying to execute it. They are fooling these big name preachers who have sold out the kingdom for money. Who told these Catholic clergy that there's no more protest? Did the Protestant church open their mouth and say there's no more protest? They say, oh, there's no more protest. Who told you? And the Protestant church at any time say there's no more protest. This is the Protestant church that's supposed to be telling them, not them telling the Protestant church there's no more protest. Say, oh, there's no more Protestant church. Who told you? There's come in an era where ignorance prevails in the body of Christ because Christians don't know church history. Too dumb to even go and research it. Not that they're too dumb. Just, No, I'm looking for words. Yeah, Christianity and stupidity kind of go together now. They have all the tools and resources to reach out. No, just go here, preacher, feel good. No, it's the prosperity, man, from prosperity to party messaging. The real thing, the thing that was what the fathers of the faith practice, they don't know. They haven't. A new generation have no clue what the real thing, what their fathers practice was like. Now that they think is important. Oh, that's old. We're doing something new. You've left God. You haven't encountered God. He's in the old stuff. Yes. I'll show me that long time ago. He's in the old stuff. It has been that way since Israel's history. Each new generation want to run away. They keep remembering them. This other father, this that we want to do something new. End up in idol worshiping. It's what answer to me. It's old fashioned. It's always in the old. It's always been old fashioned. Always been old stuff. It's been the same issue in Israel. Why they keep falling away from God? Because they didn't want to do what their fathers have done. That's old fashioned. Want to do something new. That's how it's always been. You read the Old Testament. They want to run away. Our fathers did that. Want to do something new, the latest and the greatest. I said it's the old fashioned God. Old fashioned. So we want to discover him. We discover him. We have to go back to what these fathers in the faith, their practice, how they operated. What well did the Lord Jesus sit on? The well of the fathers, Jacob, where the woman, they talked with the woman on the well. It was the well of the fathers, Jacob. There were newer wells, latest designer wells. He didn't go to those ones. He went to the old well, ancient well, the well that Jacob built. That's where he went to go sit. He's in the well of the fathers. Rediscovering what was here before, what had been practiced, what the fathers have practiced. Any new stuff, latest, greatest, he's in the old, he's sitting at the old wells. The well of Jacob, that's where he is. He's old fashioned. You don't like old fashioned stuff, you don't like this God. He's an old fashioned God. That's one reason why I baptize myself with the knowledge of history. Want to know what has happened in the past. Because it tell you the future was coming. Not just because I'm in the prophetic ministry. It's just I had to know how did all these things get here? Where did they come from? How did they? People just think that stuff just there. They've just always been there. No, they came from somewhere. Find out what's the origin that they come from. So people who are not acquainted with the history of the church, they'll fall for it. Oh, there's no more protest. Oh, who told you? It's not the ones who are protesting that are supposed to tell you that, not you telling us who are protesting. Christians don't even know why the Protestant church is called the Protestant church. The Protestant church broke away from the Catholic church. They don't know. They don't know history. It's part of the ignorance that prevails in Christianity. They don't even know where these things come from. The Protestant church, it came out of the Catholic church. But they took it out of traditions. The Catholic church recognized the tradition. But the Protestant church doesn't recognize the Catholic traditions. Because they're not even aware, this generation, not even aware they broke out from the Catholic church. Who combined Roman paganism with Christianity and erased the Jewish roots, the Jewish traces of Jewish heritage. That's how we end up worshiping on Sunday instead of Saturday. That's how it happened. So now, I'm fast running out. And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according to as thou biddest. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly? The man is smart. I'm suspicious. Usually it takes you a couple of hours. So that's the first clue. Say, okay, no suspicious. And Isaac said unto Jacob, he said, how is it thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because the Lord thy God brought to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son, Esau, or not. Yeah, his eye was dim, but his brain was not dim. Just his eye, he couldn't see too well. He said, how come we found it so quickly? His IQ was still intact. Say, okay, come here, let me feel you. If his mother hadn't prepared him, they would have cut him right there. And came there, okay, they argued, they get arguments. Okay, okay, you found it quickly. Okay, okay, all right, I'll come, let me feel you. Okay. Hmm. Isaac said unto him, come near, I pray thee that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near. He didn't know that it was his wife that had planned this, and the wife knows the husband knows the wife. So the wife had planned this, they already knew how he operated. So he would feel the hand, feel the neck. The wife had been watching, so, okay, all right. So the wife, Jacob was concerned. He didn't know this about his father, but his mother knew that about the father. And he wasn't paying attention. Yes, he didn't spend a whole lot of time with his father. He spent more time with his mother. So Jacob was mama's boy. Esau was papa's boy. And his son, and Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. The man knew his son when Jacob, he knew the voice of Jacob, but he just wanted to play along. So, okay, how come you found it so quickly? Say, oh, Lord, give me favors. Okay, come in, let me feel you. Say, hey, it's like, 8. What is this? The hand is the hands of Esau, but the voice of Jacob. Say, the man got confused. Now his brain started racking. Say, yeah, that's Esau's hands. But you sound like Jacob. What's going on? Say, okay. And he said, and Jacob went down to his father, and he felt him, and he said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. He wasn't playing around any longer. He was playing along, playing the games. Okay, how come you found it so quickly? It's like he's talking to Jacob. Say, okay, all right. I'll come here and feel you. What is this? This is Esau's hands. You have the voice of Jacob. Where's Esau's hands? What's going on? He stopped playing. And the son, and Jacob went near, okay, and he discerned him not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are Esau's hands. If he had touched his hand and his hand was smooth, he would have slapped him. You this slip boy, you trying to deceive me, your father? You're trying to deceive me. You're calling yourself Esau. Pa, 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 pa. When they touched him, Esau's hand, Jacob's voice. Yeah, that's fast right now. I'll conclude quickly. And he discerned him. He said, and Jacob went there unto his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother's Esau's hand, as his brother Esau's hand. So he blessed him, said, okay, man, I don't know what to make of this. But since he claims it's Esau, I feel the hands of Esau, but I hear the voice of Jacob. All right, then I'll bless him. Maybe he's having, maybe he was, he had got a cough or something, or a cold or something, and then, his voice now sound like his younger brother. But hey, I don't know what to make of this. So he blessed him. And he said, thou, and he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. He said, are you really him? I hope this is not a game. Are you really him? He said, oh, yes, I am. I said, okay, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, and my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him. The business tradition. You eat, heart is merry, now you cannot do business. But near to him, and he did eat, and they brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near him, and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field which the Lord had blessed. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. He still wasn't sure. So come here, kiss me. When he came to kiss him, I smelled it. It smells like the field. His wife knew him. That's why he prepared Jacob properly. This thing was the working of Rebecca. They blamed Jacob. It was the working of Rebecca. Jacob was just an innocent victim in the matter. He just played along, just obeyed his mother. But now that time is about to run out. Let me conclude. Where after Esau had come and discovered this and I was angry, he was planning to kill his brother and all that stuff. Now Jacob sends Rebecca told how much time I got? I'm about to run out of time. Now this is the problem that Rebecca had with Esau. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her youngest son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, proposing to kill thee. Now, therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise, flee thou to Laban, my brother, to Haran, and tarry with him a few days until thy brother's fury turn away, until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and forget that which thou hast done to him. When I will send and fetch thee from thence, why should I be deprived of both of you the same day? And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these which are the daughters of the land, what shall my life do me? Okay, I'm out of time. Yeah. I think this camera would have already stopped recording. Yeah.